Hi everyone, welcome to lecture number 12 of unit number 5 partial differential equation. In this lecture we are going to start with the last part of unit number 5 partial differential equation of higher order with constant coefficients. Okay, we are going to learn only higher order partial differential equation of with constant coefficient, and in examples also we are going to see differential equation of order 2 or order 3 maximum. Okay, so here I have defined that higher order partial differential equation with constant coefficient. Consider the partial differential equation a0 del n z by del x raised to n plus a1 del n z by del x raised to n minus 1 del y. The degree is n, order is n of this derivative. So derivative with respect to y one time and n minus 1 times with respect to x. Total order is n plus a2 del n, this is n, del n z by del x raised to n minus 2 del y square. Okay, this is also nth order derivative plus del n an minus 1 del n z by del x del y raised to n minus 1 plus an del n z by del y raised to n equal to right hand side function is a function of two variables x and y. Hope it is visible to you. It is f of x comma y. Now where a0 a1 up to an are the constants is called a partial differential equation of nth order with constant coefficients, right? So this type of partial differential equation whenever occur in front of you, that will be called as a partial differential equation of order n, and it is linear also. It is linear also because all the derivatives are occurred in degree 1. Fine. So this can be called as linear partial differential equation of order n also. Now what we are going to do, we are going to write this big equation in small compact form. This type of linear differential equation we have studied in previous unit also, in a higher order differential equation. There we have studied the linear differential equation of order n with constant coefficient, which are ordinary differential equation. Here we are having partial differential equations. That is the change. Now if we set capital D as del z by del x, means with respect to x derivative we are treating as capital D, and with respect to y derivative we are treating as d dash, capital D dash. Okay. Now if you put all these values in this differential equation, so here we'll get d raised to n with respect to x derivative n times, so d raised to n, with respect to x derivative n minus 1 times, so d raised to n minus 1, and with respect to y derivative 1 time, therefore d dash, like this, d raised to n minus 1 d dash. And if you keep on substituting the values of del z by del x and del z by del y as d and d dash, we'll get this form of the differential equation. Right hand side is f of x comma y, and this z can be taken common. All the derivatives we are having of z. Okay, so that z I have taken outside, and this z is the solution also of that differential equation. Now again, this is a polynomial in d and d dash, two variables we can say, so that can be written as capital F of d comma d dash operating on z equal to right hand side small f of x comma y, which is a compact form of above differential equation. So this whole equation I have written in this small form. Okay, f of d dash, d comma d dash, this f is capital and this f is small, f of x comma y. So this type of differential equation we have studied in higher order differential equation, ordinary, linear ordinary differential equation, phi of dy equal to f of x. Okay, here we had there phi of d, here y, and right hand side small f of x. Instead of that phi of d we are having capital F of d comma d dash operating on z instead of y, and right hand side is small f of x comma y. So this type of differential equations we are going to solve in this particular unit. Equation 1 is also called linear partial differential equation of nth order with constant coefficient. Okay, now few remarks related to this. When to call this partial differential equation homogeneous and when to call it is non-homogeneous. So this definition is quite different to the definition of ordinary differential equations of homogeneous and non-homogeneous. So let us check if f of d comma d dash is homogeneous in d and d dash. Okay, if the polynomial in d and d dash is homogeneous in d and d dash, that is d and d dash terms appears in same degree, then the equation 1 is called homogeneous partial differential equation. And if f of d and d dash is not homogeneous in d and d dash, that is their degrees are not equal, in that case it will be called as non-homogeneous differential equation. Some examples I have written: del 2z by del x square, del 2z by del y square plus del 2z by del x del y equal to x plus y. If you write this in the d and d dash form, so this will be equal to d square with respect to x, then d dash square with respect to y, here with respect to x with respect to y, so d into d dash, z can be taken common. So if you see this polynomial f of d dash, if you check every term, this term is of degree 2, this term is of degree 2, d dash square, d into d dash, degree of d is 1 and this 1, multiplication we have, so total degree is 2. So all the three terms appear in a degree 2. So in that way your degree should be match of every term, then only it will be homogeneous in d and d dash. Okay, that is the meaning of homogeneous in d and d dash. All the terms must appear in same degree. Such a differential equations can be called as homogeneous partial differential equation. Okay, and whenever this degrees doesn't match, if any of the term is having different degree, then that differential equation becomes non-homogeneous. That is the next example. Here we are having d square plus d dash square. If you replace that derivative with respect to x by d and derivative with respect to y by d dash, we'll get this form, z equal to xy. Okay, this z I have taken common. If you check the degree of all the terms, here d square, here d dash square, degree 2 terms, here degree 1. So degree of d square, all the terms are not in same degree, hence it is not homogeneous in d and d dash. Not homogeneous in d and d dash. Okay, hence the partial differential equations non-homogeneous. And in our course we are going to solve only homogeneous type of differential equations, not non-homogeneous type of. Okay. Now let us see the method of solution of these type of differential equations. Okay. Step number 1. We are by setting d equal to m, d dash equal to 1. Whatever equation we will get in terms of f of d and d dash, in that equation we are going to replace d by small m, d dash by 1. And we get an equation of the form. After that we will get such a polynomial in m equal to 0. Okay. Polynomial of degree n, whatever the degree of that terms homogeneity, degree of homogeneity is there, that degree polynomial will get here. Okay, means the same, whatever the order of differential equations we are having, the same degree of that polynomial will get. Okay, simply. And this polynomial is called as an auxiliary equation of the given partial differential equation. So what is the step 1 of solution? Determine its auxiliary equation by putting d equal to m and d dash equal to 1. So we'll get this type of polynomial like we have done for the ordinary differential equations. Okay, but here we are having quite different things. Step number 2, find the roots of the auxiliary equation. Like we did in ordinary differential case, we determine their roots of auxiliary equation. The same thing we are going to do here. Find the roots of auxiliary equation to find the complementary function. So using these roots, we are going to determine the complementary function of the given differential equation. Now there are some cases to write the complementary function. So all the cases I am going to discuss one by one. Case number 1, if all the roots are distinct, if you get all the roots are distinct, then its CF can be written as phi1 of y plus m1x plus phi2 of y plus m2x plus dot 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 plus phi n of y plus mnx. So all the roots, obtained roots, we need to substitute in the coefficient of x. Okay, and this phi1, phi2, phi n are the arbitrary functions. Okay, like in ordinary case we had their arbitrary constants c1, c2, c3. Here we are having arbitrary functions in the complementary function, and this m1 m roots we need to place in the coefficient of x. Okay, in that way you will get n arbitrary functions as the complementary function. Okay, then case number 2, if some root is repeated, I have taken one root m which is repeated k times. In that case, for that root which is repeated k times, CF can be written as phi1 of y plus mx. K times repeated means total k functions will be there, phi1 to phi k. Okay, total k functions we have to write. And how we are going to write them? Y plus mx. So in every bracket we'll have y plus mx, y plus mx, y plus mx, because the m is the same root we repeated r times. But along with that, in the multiplication of these functions, we are having x raised to 0, which is 1, x raised to 1, x raised to 2, x raised to 3, up to x raised to k minus 1. So for example, if your m is the root repeated 3 times, in that case, how the CF can be written as? Because we are going to deal with the maximum 3 order differential equation, so we'll get maximum degree 3 polynomial there. If all the 3 roots are same, in that case, CF will be phi1 of y plus mx plus x into phi2 of y plus mx plus x square into y phi3 of y plus mx up to k minus 1, means x square. Up to x square we write in the coefficient. X raised to 0, x raised to 1, x raised to 2. And this phi1, phi2, phi3. Okay, total k roots. Therefore, total 3 roots, therefore 3 functions, and in the coefficient we have up to x square. Okay, just we are going to multiply by the functions by x raised to 0, x raised to 1 and x raised to 2, not x raised to 3. Okay, so this is how we can write the CF when the root is repeated. Okay, well, when we are going to do examples, you will get all these things clear. Now, few notes regarding this. For homogeneous partial differential equation with f of x comma y equal to 0, if your partial differential equation is homogeneous and the right hand side of the differential equation is 0, okay, f of x comma y is the right hand side of the partial differential equation. In that case, we find only complementary function, and that is only the general solution of the homogeneous partial differential equation. So whenever f of x comma y equal to 0, in that case you just have to calculate complementary function. And for homogeneous partial differential equation with f of x comma y not equal to 0, if the right hand side of the differential equation is not equal to 0, then with pi, that is particular integral, then with pi particular integral also, using not shortcut methods, using method of pi, okay, method of pi, okay. So whenever the right hand side is not equal to 0 of the homogeneous partial differential equation, in that case we have to calculate pi also, particular integral. So I written it wrong actually. Only means we have, I have to say that we have to calculate particular integral also in that case whenever the right hand side is not equal to 0. And for calculating particular integral, there are some methods, okay, shortcut methods also there, but instead of that shortcut methods, I am going to apply different method to calculate the particular integral. Okay, even if you are using that shortcut methods or this method, whatever I am discussing, you will get the same answers. Okay, so whenever you are, by these two notes, I want to just tell you that when you have to calculate complementary function and when you have to calculate both CF and PI. CF and PI we are going to calculate whenever f of xy is not equal to 0, and we calculate only CF when f of xy, that is right hand side of the differential equation, is 0. Now, another thing related to CF, when d dash is not a factor of f of d, capital F of d comma d dash, we can find auxiliary equation by setting d equal to m and d dash equal to 1. So that we are putting, right, d equal to m and d dash equal to 1, and we can determine auxiliary equation whenever d dash is not the factor. And d dash is not the factor means you may get some polynomials like d dash into d minus 1. So here d dash is one factor, right? So when d dash is not the factor, then directly you can get the auxiliary equation and you can determine the roots. But if it is a factor, in that case things become different. Okay, if d dash is one of the factor, and if you put d dash equal to 1, that we do in calculating auxiliary equation, if you put d dash equal to 1, there only one factor will remain, and that will give you only one root instead of two roots. Okay, so in such a case, if d dash is the factor, then we take d dash common, and that d dash that I have written outside, that d dash we take common, and we put d dash equal to 1 in the remaining factor of f of d comma d dash. So only in the remaining factor, whatever remaining factor will be there, in that we put d dash equal to 1. Fine. Now in this case, the CF is quite different. If d dash is the factor, only factor, like this situation, if the d dash is the only factor, in that case its CF, corresponding CF can be taken as phi of x. Okay, this is very important. D dash equal to, if, then in the CF one function will be phi of x, not y plus mx. Fine. So phi of x will be the one factor, and if that d dash is repeated k times, suppose it is repeated d dash square I am having, so it will repeat it 2 times. Like that, if d dash is repeated k times, then the part of CF, the part of complementary function in that case will be phi 1x plus y into phi 2x plus y square into phi 3x plus y raised to k minus 1 phi k of x. So only for that particular factor d dash raised to k, the complementary functions we are going to write it using this formula. Okay, phi 1x plus y into phi 2 of x, y square, and so on. Okay, you write all these rules carefully, then definitely while doing examples it will help you. And instead of d dash, if d is the factor, d is the only factor, then if d is the single factor, in that case for that single factor you need to add this quantity phi of y in the solution, because root will be 0. right? We are going to replace d by m, so we'll get m only, right? M, and if you equate it to 0, we'll get m equal to 0. So if m equal to 0, in that phi of y plus mx, this function we are using for that. So m, if you put m equal to 0, we'll get phi of y there, right? So like that, you'll get only phi of y if d is the only factor, and if d factor is repeated k times, you'll get this type of polynomial again. Only here change is, here y is here and x is here. Here reverse happens, y goes in bracket and x is outside. Okay, whenever d is the factor and if d dash is the factor, reverse things happen. X goes inside bracket and y is outside. Fine. It depends upon how many times it is repeated. Accordingly, we are going to multiply. If it is not repeated, then simply pi of x we take. Okay. Now let us discuss about the particular integral. CF we have discussed some rules. Okay. Now for particular integral, we are, in examples we are going to have this type of functions. Right hand side function f of x comma y equal to phi of x plus b by. It will be a function of linear factor of this type ax plus by. For example, if your function is 2x plus 3y, so it is also a function of ax plus by type. E raised to x plus y, sine of 2x plus 3y, cos of 2x plus 3y, like that. So if that functions has the factor ax plus by, this type of factor, etc. Some examples I have written here. In that case, how to determine pi, and only this type of functions we are going to have in examples. Okay, some function of ax plus by type factor. There also two cases arises. If capital F of a comma b not equal to 0, then in that case solution is, these are the values of a and b. If you put these values of a and b in your polynomial f of d dash, you will get f of a comma b value. If that value is equal to 0, then there is another technique, and if that value is not equal to 0, in that case this procedure we follow for calculating particular integral. So particular integral formula definition is 1 upon f of d comma d dash, whatever function you are having, and we have considered the functions of the type phi of x plus by. Fine. So for phi of ax plus by type function, if your f of a comma b is not equal to 0, then this formula you can use for determining particular integral. F of a comma b, which is non-zero, this integration is n times. Right hand side is the multiple integral of order n, because we have considered the function differential equation of order n. So it will be n times integral. If it is a differential equation of order 2 or order 3, at that time 2 or 3 integrations will be there. And of what we are determining integration of small f of v. So this is the function f of x comma y. So and here we are having ax plus b, right? That ax plus b ax plus by we are considering as v. So here just put that function, whatever function you are having. If you are having e raised to this function, e raised to x plus y, so x plus y is my v. So if x plus y is my v, so e raised to x plus y will become e raised to v. This is your small f of v, and this is your f of x comma y. This is f of x comma y, e raised to x plus y, and I am replacing x plus y by v. So f of v will be e raised to v. So in this integration, I am going to integrate e raised to v how many times? N times, if differential equations of order n. If it is of order 2, I will integrate e raised to v 2 times, like that. And whatever integration you will get, that integration you will get in terms of v. At the end, you need to replace the value of v by that factor ax plus by. So this formula is there for determining particular integral. Okay, try to understand it. The next one, the case if f of a comma b equal to 0, means when we will put the value of d and d dash by a by b, if denominator becomes 0, we call it as case of failure also. Okay, like in shortcut methods, if denominator becomes 0, in that case how to determine the particular integral. So this is the definition of particular integral, and I am taken the function of the type phi of ax plus by, f of d comma d dash. Now when this f of d comma d dash is going to become 0, if in the denominator you have this type of factor bd, in that polynomial if you have this type of factor bd minus a d dash raised to n, it is repeated n times. Okay, if it is not repeated, only this type of factor will be there, but I have taken that this factor is repeated n times. Now if you put the value of a and b in this f of d dash, so what value of ab we have? Ab. If you put here a, here b in place of d dash, we will get ba minus ab, which will become 0, means f of ab will become 0, and this factor is repeated n times. So whenever if factor is not repeated, or if it is repeated n times, at that case the value can be taken as of the solution. The solution can be directly written from this formula: x raised to n by n factorial b raised to n phi of ax plus by. So value of b we use, take raised to n, raised power of x to n factorials. Okay, so this is the formula. For example, one example I have written here: if you have 1 upon d minus d dash square, this is your f of d comma d dash, and then your value of a and b is 1 1. Okay, sin x plus y is there 1 1. A and b is 1 1. If you replace d by 1 and d dash by 1, 1 minus 1 will become 0. So here f of a b is becoming 0, and this factor is repeated 2 times. Okay, f of 1 1 is 0 and factor is repeated 2 times. So by this formula it will be x raised to 2 upon 2 factorial into b raised to n. B is 1, so 1 raised to 2 into sine of x plus y as it is. So that will give us directly the particular integral as x square by 2 sine of x plus y. So this is also easy technique. This formula you need to remember. Okay, whenever when f of a comma b will become 0, whenever you are having this type of factors there in the f of d comma d dash, and if it is becoming 0, simply use this formula to obtain the particular integral. Okay, and we are going to consider only this type of functions in the problems. Okay, so that's it from this lecture. Hope you understood this discussion. If you have any kind of doubt related to any case, any remark, any formula, simply write in comment box, or you can contact me on my WhatsApp number. Thank you. In coming lecture, we will discuss the example based on higher order differential equations. Okay, thank you.